Oh my goodness, she is not dead. She is alive. We never thought we'd see the day. Hi everybody, and welcome back to the Poor Decisions podcast. I am your host, Sydney Christensen. What the fuck is up? Oh my god, it's been a minute since I've actually sat down and said that. That's so embarrassing. Hi everybody. We are back today. Happy Poor Decisions Monday. This is actually going up on Monday this time because I am very determined to get this up. LMFAO. But how is everybody doing? It's been a cool minute since we last spoke to each other. The last time I've sat down, told everybody what the fuck is going on with my life, gave everybody the exclusive on Sydney's shit show, but it's okay. The last time I filmed an episode and sat down and actually went through and posted it was my Cabo spring break special, and it was a two-parter, so if you have not seen it, please, for the love of God, watch it. If this is the first time you're seeing me, watch that one instead of this. That's a way more fun episode. So it's been a cool minute since I've sat down with you guys and we talked. I feel so awkward right now. This feels like a first date, or like when you're meeting up with the person you're not supposed to be with and you know you're not supposed to be talking to them or seeing them. Like, I don't know why you guys make me so nervous. But hello again. My name is Sydney. If you're new here, hi. I hope you stay around. If you're not new here, hi. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for sticking around. You are a real one, and I fucking love you with every ounce of my soul for sticking around. I hope you're having a great day. Now, if you are one of the people who have been following me, following this pod, who have been here every week or on the weeks that I have uploaded, you have probably been like, Sydney, where the fuck have you been? It's been about a month since you last updated us. When you last updated us, it was spring break and you were in fucking Cabo. Like, what is going on? Well, like I said, the last time that I sat here and spoke with everybody was early March, and now currently it is mid-April, which is crazy. We are 4 months into 2024. These months have been very interesting, very fun, very crazy. And in all honesty, I cannot tell you where the fuck I have been because I have just been everywhere, and honestly, this past month has been a fucking blur. I don't know what I've been doing. I don't know what I've been doing with my life. It's been a wild, rough few first months of 2024, and that's okay. I feel like I say that every fucking episode. I'm like, oh my god, it's just been a rough month, it's been a rough week, and you know what? It has. And I'm not ashamed of saying that. Now let's see, where have I been? To be honest, I've been traveling a lot. If you follow me on my personal socials, you know that, and if you don't follow me on my personal socials, please go do that. It is at Sydney Christensen with 2 eyes on everywhere. All my links will be in the description. I honestly have gone home a lot within this past month. As you guys saw, I went to Cabo. I also went to Rolling Loud, and I know I promised a Rolling Loud episode, but if I'm being so for real, like 110% with you, I have not been feeling it, and I'm going to get into that more today. I just was not feeling the episode where I was talking about Rolling Loud, and you know what? If you still want it, if you still want to know about my crazy adventure with Rolling Loud, which I could get into, it was a fucking shit show if I'm being completely honest. JK, but not really. More of like the end of the trip. I would love to get into it more. Maybe I'll make an episode about it in the future. But when I filmed it and when I was editing it, it just didn't feel right, and I just never ended up posting it. And I always want to put out the best episodes, best content that I can. And you know what? I am so sorry for that. That is just a letdown on not only people who watch or listen to this podcast, but on myself. To be honest, I'm really trying not to be so hard on myself on it, but I really am. I just think it was a really selfish decision to stop being consistent and stop posting, but here we are. Here I am filming this, and this episode came out because you are listening to it. Taking baby steps, I guess. It's honestly just not fair for the people who do follow me and the people who do support me, and I apologize for that immensely, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my god, feel bad for me because I didn't post and I've been going through a lot, blah blah blah. No, that's not a fucking excuse. But today I am going to talk about what has been going on in my life for the past few months and what I have initially been struggling with, even though I don't want to give a sob story. I just think this is a topic that we don't talk about enough and that a lot of people, especially in my generation, struggle with. So let's get into it, I guess. To be honest, yeah, I've been fucking struggling. For all my new listeners, I am in my second year of college. I'm about to be entering my 20s this July, which is so fucking scary. It was just my best friend Chloe's birthday about a week ago, and she turned 20 also, and it was just a really weird and surreal birthday for her, I guess. Like, it was just like, oh damn, you're not in your teens anymore, you're entering your 20s, and that's just a crazy thought, and it's all a part of growing up. Obviously, we can't stay teens, kids, whatever, forever. But when you are a kid and you are thinking about everything that you're going to do when you're older, you are now at that age that you wanted to be as a kid. If that made any sense. It made sense to me. Which I can't process that. I have a morbid fear of growing up. I love my birthday every year, but I also hate my birthday every year because it means I'm getting fucking older and it means I need to get my fucking shit together. So I've been in this mini life crisis of, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be a teen anymore, I'm entering my 20s, I'm already adult, but I'm going to be like an adult, I feel like. Just me being completely overdramatic, if I'm being honest. But it's just a crazy and surreal feeling, I guess. And with being with kind of this state of mind that I've been in, I honestly think it's just like the inner child in me that's been missing home a lot. This full semester, I really have been missing home. I've been missing my parents and my whole family like fucking crazy. And I've honestly been having the struggle of being independent. I live on my own. I don't have any roommates. It's just me in my place. And when you're living by yourself, you learn a lot of things about yourself, and you learn a lot of things about being independent. You have to worry about things that like you didn't even think about. And with living alone, and personally where I am located, I am actually about a 30-minute drive from my campus. I live in a completely different city than where my campus is located, and a lot of my friends, they live close to campus. They live literally either right on campus or just a few minutes away from campus. And I'm not a far drive, but I'm a pretty far drive away from everybody, so I don't have a lot of people in my area I could just go see or just go hang out with. If I want to go hang out with my friends, they either have to come to me or I have to come to them, and that could just be a whole hassle. So I spend a lot of my time alone, and it sucks sometimes. Sometimes I just want to have a person to talk to or a person to just do something with, and I'm not the type of person to reach out and be like, hey, hang out with me, I really want to hang out. I've always been like that. I just feel like, for me personally, I don't want to be like coming off as like needy, so I kind of just do like my own thing here, and I get very lost in my head. I get very in my head when I'm alone, and I'm constantly alone, to be honest, so I'm constantly in my head. And then sometimes I just want like a hug from my mom or my dad or just someone I'm close with, and I don't have that, obviously, because I'm a whole state away. Thankfully, I'm only one state away, but that's still something that's very hard for me. There have also been a lot of life-changing events that have been going on in my life. So I mentioned briefly that I was traveling home a lot. One was for Easter, and the second weekend was for Chloe and my sister Haley's birthday. They're 2 days apart. I wanted to see my best friend for her 20th for obvious reasons, and then my sister and my family, we were all going to go to Universal because that's what my sister wanted to do for her birthday. So unfortunately, before I went home for their birthdays, I got news that my beautiful baby princess, precious dog Stella, she was not doing very good. She was in a lot of pain, and unfortunately she had to cross over the Rainbow Bridge, which is very, very unfortunate and sad, but it's been a while, and now I could sit here and say that I know that she's okay, and I know that she's playing with all her friends and whatever. I'm not going to talk about it a lot because I do get emotional about it. But it was a very unexpected thing that happened, and I wasn't home. I couldn't go home. I had a lot of stuff to do with school that week because I was going home that weekend and wasn't going to be back in town until that Wednesday. And I couldn't go home to see my dog for a last time. I couldn't say my last few things, give her my last, love to my dog before she unfortunately passed. And I've been feeling so fucking guilty about it. I don't wish this feeling on anybody. It was just one of those moments where it's like, dang, this is a part of growing up where sometimes you just can't be there for something because you have work, because you have school, because you simply just can't be there at that point of time, and that's okay. And that was something that was really hard to process, especially because I had my dog Stella for 8 years. I had her since I was 11, so she was a part of my very developmental years of my life. She saw me go through middle school, high school, now college, and it's just weird losing a pet. So yeah, I've been struggling a little bit with that for sure. I've been doing a lot of growing up these past few weeks, that's for sure. And another part of growing up is obviously making friends and meeting new people. And another part of growing up with friendships is realizing that you guys are not on the same wavelength of life. Sometimes your paths just go separate and there's nothing that you can do about it because that is life. And I definitely was in that position. The people that I hung out with first semester of this school year are not the people I hung out with this semester of the school year, that's for sure. I was just surrounded with a lot of people that I honestly grew out of. They weren't fulfilling my friendship needs, and to be honest, they just weren't a positive impact on my life. They made me feel very bad about myself and bad about what I love to do and how passionate I am about what I'm passionate about. And when I stopped hanging around this group of people, I felt very isolated and very lonely. I felt like I didn't have any friends. I felt like I had no one to hang out with because I was always hanging out with these people. And I just felt like I had no one because it is so hard to make friends when you're in college. I don't care what anybody says. It is so fucking hard. And this whole time when I was going through this whole point in my life, I just felt like I had to keep it the fuck together. I am someone who doesn't like anybody know how I'm feeling, especially when I'm not okay. I will hide it, I will isolate, I will ghost everybody until I am okay again. And even people that I am friends with knows if I am not talking to them or constantly texting them, it's just because I am working out through something and I just need a minute. I honestly just like to keep it like a little secret of like nobody knows what's going on. And through all of this and through all of these huge emotions that I was feeling, I was still doing my thing. I was still going out, I was being active. I was posting funny little fucking videos on TikTok, just spilling about my life and, oh my gosh, get ready with me to go out. And I even started this mini series on TikTok called Sid Gets Her Shit Together, and it's literally just me like doing whatever the fuck I need to do to get my shit together. And as fun and as funny as those videos were and as fun as they were to make and edit or whatever, I was literally losing it. I was literally fucking losing it. And throughout this whole thing of me going out and doing it and doing everything and trying my best to make sure that everybody that I know and who knows me or whatever knows that I am living my best life and I am doing okay and nothing's wrong and my life is fucking perfect, it led me into this spiraling identity crisis. Oh my fucking god. Nobody talks about the identity crisis that you have when you are 19 years old. Now, continuing this topic of me going through this identity crisis that I had, I want to talk about social media a little more. Because as I mentioned, I was posting these fucking videos of me doing whatever and me showing my life. Social media is obviously fucking fake. I don't think anybody can tell from those videos that my life was just not at its best point at that moment. Another thing about social media that I'm honestly very embarrassed to admit is that social media is very addictive. I, unfortunately, am addicted to social media, and I am here to fucking say it. There is no shame. I feel like it's like something not talked about enough or too shamed on, but I am addicted to social media. I am constantly scrolling. I mean, I try to give myself the excuse of like, oh, technically I work on social media, like I make money from posting or whatever. So like me scrolling's just like research. Bitch, no the fuck it's not. Be fucking for real. But on social media, especially on Pinterest, TikTok, maybe even Instagram. I don't know. I mainly am on TikTok personally. But with the amount of time that I spend on social media, I just realized that every fucking damn thing has a fucking aesthetic. Everything is an aesthetic, and there is this pressure online of like, oh, you have to have an aesthetic. You have to have a niche. You have to figure out what you belong in. So when I started going through this identity crisis and I kept seeing more of these like aesthetics all over my For You page. There's the clean girl aesthetic, Pilates princess aesthetic, there's cottagecore. There is even a fucking messy girl aesthetic. If you have Pinterest, go onto Pinterest right now and look up messy girl aesthetic. It is a real fucking thing. I did not know being messy could be a fucking aesthetic. But as I was seeing more of these aesthetics, niches, whatever the fuck you want to call it, I was just like freaking the fuck out because I wanted to know what the fuck I was. Am I this beachy girl aesthetic? Am I the star girl aesthetic? There are so many stupid fucking niches and aesthetics and whatever. Like I said, there is an aesthetic for everything. Oh my gosh, take a shot every time I've said aesthetic in this episode. I felt like I had to pick like a certain look to follow in order to find whatever group I fit in, and I was doing the most to find this aesthetic of myself. I was trying everything in the world that I could do. And when I was doing that, I was slowly losing myself in that process. I tried to be the 5 a.m. girl, the girl who has her green juice every morning bright and early at 5 a.m. and does her little workout. I unfortunately am not that person. I tried the party girl aesthetic where you just don't give a fuck and you fucking party because who cares? Yeah, my anxiety did not like that at all. And the morning after me did not like it at all either. This is embarrassing to admit, but we're all friends here. I even tried the like stoner girl aesthetic where you just garden a lot or whatever, and I do still garden, but I was gardening a lot, like not a good amount, not a healthy amount. And when I was in that fucking little stoner girl era of my life that lasted like 3 days, I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? This is lame. No offense if that's your thing, that's just not my thing. But I just kept feeling this need to change, and I knew that I needed the change, so I was just like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna change my whole identity. Everyone's going to know the old Sydney, not this new Sydney. So I went home and I cut my hair and I dyed it blonde. And if you're watching the video version of this, you cannot tell because my hair is up. Here, let me take it down so you can see what my hair looks like. Here's my hair. Here's my hair. Nothing crazy. I just went blonder, chopped it to my shoulders. I say nothing crazy, but I literally had like long brunette hair. And part of the reason I actually went back blonde is because I wanted to be my old self again. And I personally believe the best version of myself is when I was literally Barbie blonde. I was so fucking blonde. And I even had people in my life who were like, you just need to be blonde again. Like, Sydney's always just blonde. No hate to them, love you guys, because I really do love my blonde hair. But when I did go blonder and when I did chop my hair, I immediately regretted it. When my hairdresser did the first initial chop, I was like, no fucking way that I actually did that. I love my hair now, though. I'm really glad I made this change. And I felt like I had this hair crisis after I got my hair done because I hated it so much. And I was just like, fuck, I'm never going to be the old me again. Like, this isn't me. I was just like, this isn't me. I don't know what to do. I just got used to my other hair. Now it's this whole new thing again. And I just realized that there is no more old me for a reason. That period of my life did not continue for a reason. I stepped into a new chapter of life, and that chapter will just be forever closed. That part of my life was like that for a reason. And I am the way I am now for a reason. And I am still me. Like, Sydney's not going anywhere. Like, Sydney's staying in this body. I'm just a grown version and a changed version of myself from 2 years ago. Sorry, guys. I am putting my hair back up because it needs to desperately be washed right now. So I'm putting my hair back up. I apologize. But this is my new hair. She's cute. She's cute. I'll have to style it next episode. But that's a scary thing to realize, that, you know what, life moved forward for a reason, and I am the way I am now for a reason, and that's simply just because I'm growing more. I'm going through way more experiences as an adult compared to as a child. Even though I say I'm like an adult, but I'm a very early adult. I'm dealing with early adult problems and early adult things. Like, I'm having this identity crisis now, but imagine when I'm fucking 30 and have kids and like have to pay for like mortgages and whatever. Oh my god, that's so scary to fucking think about. Let's get past through 20 before I start thinking about my 30s. Come on now. But as I was going through this identity crisis journey, I also realized that me not having this sense of self is because I lacked a lot of self-confidence and self-trust within myself. So many new and crazy things were happening in my life and going on in my life, and I just truly didn't have the trust in myself that I could get through it. I just thought the whole world was going to come crashing down on me and there was no way I can get back up from this, because it started to feel like, hey, holy fucking shit, this is real fucking life. You're not a kid anymore. This is what you're going to have to deal with as a part of life and growing up. I ain't a kid no more. Frank Ocean said it best. So I had to sit myself down and be like, the way that I am living and the way that I'm presenting myself is just not okay. I can't keep living my life because I think it's the way that people want me to live it. I need to live for myself. I knew I needed to change, and that absolutely terrified, because I was pretty much attached to this unhealthy and toxic lifestyle that I was living in and not taking the time to work on myself and find more about myself. And I just knew I needed to change something and I needed to work on that, and that just absolutely terrified me, because the toxicity in my life was just my comfort. The way that I was doing life every day, even though I knew initially deep down that it was hurting me, it was just comfortable, and I knew that like I could do it. But as I keep saying, I knew this change needed to be made, but the idea of this lifestyle being stripped the fuck away from me was literally fucking hell. I rather would have shit on my hands and fucking clap. No joke. And even back to the people I was surrounding myself with when I was dealing with this crisis, I was valued for the way I was with these toxic people, but I was not valuing myself, because at the end of the day, they truly didn't value me. They valued the idea of me hanging around them. And when I sat myself down and was like, hey bitch, let's figure out what we need to do to get it together, we cannot keep living like this, everything just fucking clicked, and I just knew, okay, well, we're about to go on this fucking journey of finding ourselves again. And I know I'm not the only one in my generation, in my friend group even, who feels this way. And I hope me opening up about how I feel on this topic, and even what I'm going through right now, like, helps a lot of people out there not feel so alone, because I sure did. I thought I was the only person in this life who didn't have their shit figured out, and that's just not true. Nobody has their shit figured out at the end of the day. And as I keep talking about growing up is truly all about learning more about yourself, learning how you function, learning what you like, what you dislike. And when you feel like you are isolated and you don't have this set identity, especially when you are in high school, college, because I will tell you, at least on my campus, we have some of the prettiest girls I have ever fucking seen in my whole life, and they're also the most intimidating girls I have ever seen in my whole life. And everybody at my school has got their own little cliques or whatever, so it's very hard to like find out where you belong at. And even like there's that struggle of like, oh my gosh, like everybody is so attractive and then there's me, and it's just a very uncomfortable feeling. But what I have learned is that it is simply just because we are just not there yet in our lives. Sometimes it takes a while for us to find our true selves and where we belong. Some people find their lifelong friends in elementary school, some people find their lifelong group of friends in college, and some people find their lifelong group of people in whatever, and even themselves, in their fucking 30s, 40s, or whatever. And it's a very hard and complex thing to understand that like we're just not there in life, especially when you are so young, because in our heads we have our whole lives fucking figured out. Me, I have my whole life figured out right now, but I know that's not what life's plan is for me. And that's okay. It's okay to grow and change and not fit in. We are all on our little fucking journeys, and we are all going through whatever we're going through for a reason. And one day we'll get there. I am not there yet. Hopefully I will be there within the next few months as I go on my little self-identity, self-love journey. I don't like calling it like an identity journey, but I feel like that's what it really is for me. I just want to figure out myself more. But identity is just such a strong word. Like, I know who I am. I'm obviously Sydney, but I just want to find out more about myself and more about my personality. But anyways, I just wanted to get on here and tell everybody what the fuck I've been up to, what I've been going through, and talk about the topic of identity crisis and not feeling like you belong, especially when you are a young adult, in your teens, whatever your age group or time of life you are in when you are listening or watching this. And if you are going through the same thing as me, we got this, babe. We can do this together. We are both going to be going on this journey, and I am so excited for us. We got this, twin. We got this. I just wanted to thank everybody for being so patient with me. I'm so sorry that I haven't posted anything or kept anybody updated, and I'm so sorry to disappoint with this episode if it's not what you were looking forward to and you wanted to see the Rolling Loud episode. If the Rolling Loud episode is something that you are still interested in, please let me know in the comment section below. I really hope this episode made sense. My favorite episodes that I've always put out are the episodes where I don't even have a topic or a script. I just talk about what's going on in my life. But I have nothing more to talk about. I just wanted to yap your ear off about today's topic. Thank you so much for listening to the Poor Decisions podcast. If you want more of Poor Decisions, you can follow us on all of our socials. Our Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and Spotify will all be linked below. You can find us there. And if you want more of your host, me, hi, all my socials will be linked below as well. If you made it to the end of the episode, comment what you think the craziest aesthetic you've seen on social media is. For me, personally, there's this aesthetic called demon core that I'm not the biggest fan of, but that's just me personally. No hate if that's what you're into. I just don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. Also, please rate this podcast and this episode a 5-star rating, or if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a like. It helps with the algorithm and it helps us get these episodes out to more people. But thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being patient with me again. I really appreciate you guys so much. I hope you guys have the best Monday ever, and I will see you next week. Maybe, or maybe not. I'm just kidding. You'll see me for sure. I hope you're all doing okay out there. My DMs are always open if you need somebody to reach out to or just talk to for a minute. I got you always. We're besties here. As I said, have the best Monday ever. I will see you next week. Bye, guys. I can't believe we did that. Yay.